There are guitarists whose greatness comes from being loud, fast, or technically overwhelming. Then there is Braid Paisley, a musician who managed to make extraordinary guitar playing feel almost effortless. For years, audiences saw the country star as the smiling entertainer with the Telecaster, the quick fingers, and the unmistakable Southern sound. But beneath that familiar image was a much more interesting musical journey. How did Paisley become one of the defining guitar voices of modern country music? And what changed as his career moved from promising young player to established artist? The answer is not one dramatic moment. It is a story of evolution, experimentation, and an artist who refused to let the guitar become secondary to the song. Paisley grew up in West Virginia, surrounded by the sounds that would eventually shape his musical identity. He began playing guitar at a young age, and by his teenage years, music was already becoming more than a hobby. Country music gave him the foundation, but his guitar vocabulary stretched much further. Rock, blues, and traditional country players all became part of the language he was developing. But that wasn't the full story. When Paisley entered the professional country scene, he arrived at a time when the genre was changing rapidly. Modern production was becoming increasingly polished, yet Paisley's playing retained something distinctly human. His guitar could sound playful one moment and remarkably precise the next. He understood that technical skill meant little if it did not serve the song. That balance became one of his greatest strengths. His breakthrough as a recording artist introduced millions of listeners to a guitarist who could move between catchy country melodies and sophisticated instrumental passages without making either feel out of place. His Telecaster became part of his identity, but the instrument was never the entire story. Paisley used tone, timing, bends, slides, rhythmic accents, and carefully placed notes to create a sound that listeners could recognize almost immediately. Few people noticed how unusual that balance really was. As his career developed, Paisley also demonstrated something important about modern country music. A great guitarist does not always need to stand apart from the band. Sometimes the most impressive playing is hidden inside the arrangement. A short fill between vocal lines, a carefully chosen chord, or a perfectly timed phrase can change the entire feeling of a recording. What happened next changed the way many people viewed his musicianship. Paisley increasingly became known not only as a successful country artist but also as a serious guitarist. His playing carried echoes of country legends while incorporating ideas that could appeal to rock and blues audiences. That combination helped bridge generations of listeners. Someone discovering country guitar for the first time could hear the traditional influence, while experienced players could appreciate the technique underneath it. His career also revealed the importance of personality. Paisley's humor and approachable stage presence made complex musicianship feel accessible. He could entertain an arena while quietly demonstrating why his guitar work deserved attention. And that may be the most important part of the story. Braid Paisley's impact is not simply about chart success or impressive guitar solos. It is about showing that technical ability and accessibility can exist together. He helped keep traditional country guitar techniques visible while presenting them through a modern musical identity. Looking back, the real transformation was gradual. The young guitarist from West Virginia became an artist capable of carrying tradition into a new era without losing his own voice. His story reminds us that musical evolution does not always arrive with a dramatic announcement. Sometimes, it happens one note at a time. And in Paisley's case, those notes helped prove that the country guitar could remain deeply rooted in its history while still sounding unmistakably modern.